Hello, my name is Kylie Bosom, the 2020 Ohio Petite Miss Agriculture USA and the 2020 National Runner-Up Petite Miss Agriculture USA. Welcome to the virtual speech area of the competition for the 2021 Ohio Miss Agriculture USA competition. Speech is only for our Petite, Junior, Teen, Ms., Mrs., and Mrs. and Elite divisions. It is only 15% of their total score. Our Miss Agriculture Queens are passionate advocates for agriculture. Join us on our Miss Agriculture USA Queens competing in our 2021 Ohio Miss Agriculture USA virtual competition, speaking on the topic, what agriculture means to me.
Agriculture to me is waking up early to care for livestock. Even before I get on the bus for school, I feed my goats. I make sure my goats are taken care of because they depend on me, just like I depend on their milk. Farmers are regularly up early to make sure that their livestock is cared for properly. Without proper care, we would not have meat, eggs, or milk for our tables. Agriculture to me is spending hours in a tractor to make sure that crops are planted, tended to, and harvested. I like to ride with my Uncle Lee and hope that someday I will be able to do it on my own. Farmers everywhere spend a lot of time on crops so that everyone has food, including our livestock and pets. Much of the time spent farming is time away from family, so I am thankful to get to be a part of my family's farm. Agriculture to me is family. I don't just mean the family you are related to, but also the family you meet for selling crops and buying goods, and in ways you least expect. This past March, my papa suffered a stroke, and he is a major part of our farm. It was hard to get everything done on the farm while he recovered, but our farm family was there for us, from helping get things done to just checking in on us. They made sure we knew we had people who cared. I am proud to be a part of agriculture and advocating for Adams County, Ohio, and my farm family. This is agriculture to me.
Agriculture is the meaning of everything from raising livestock to growing crops. Too many times I see people who forget that planting crops is considered agriculture as well. The corn, the wheat, the oats, all are for something that deals with agriculture. But when you look at the big picture, you will find that the smallest animal is agriculture. Whether it's hatching eggs in your incubator or buying baby chickens so you can raise them to be hens to gather eggs, or raising them for your freezer to sustain your family for the year. To raising those goats to help that 4-H or FFA kid to show out a fair. Agriculture is all around us. If we look hard enough, you will see it. Growing that wheat, then baling it for straw, growing that corn crop for the animals, then using the byproducts as fuel. So let's get into this agriculture world. The goat that produces the milk for us to use, the babies for us to raise to show and maybe call, the bees that produce the great tasting honey, to the chickens that give us eggs.
Okay.
What does agriculture mean to me? Pork production. On New Year's Eve, we were on our way up to do chores. Then, when we got there, we found a pig cut by its mom's hoof. Then we were on our way to a friend's house. Then we sutured him, or you can say fix. Next, he lived in our house, and he lived in a dog crate by the fire, and he had a playpen in our kitchen. A couple weeks later, the stitches started to not stay with the other skin, so they separated. Then we had to cut the stitches out and cut some dead skin off. Then it got an infection. These are all 3 of the infections. Then we had to clean it with this. A couple weeks later, then it started healing up. Then it healed up all the way. Then this picture is with his sisters, and he's right here. Thank you. This is why agriculture is important to me. Hi, my name is Delaney Johnson, and I'm the 2021 Pickaway County, Ohio Petite Miss Agriculture USA. Agriculture is important to me because if it wasn't for the farmers who raise crops and livestock, I would not have clothes on my body or food on my table. Thanks to these wonderful farmers who take the time to plant things, such as corn, wheat, and soybeans, they are able to put food on our tables and supply our livestock with food when they feed these crops to our livestock. This provides the animals with nutrients to grow. If it wasn't for amazing farmers throughout our communities, we would have nothing. Agriculture also means to me learning valuable social skills, public speaking skills, and to learn to be a stronger leader, all of which I have learned while being a member of 4-H. Agriculture is important in many different ways, from visiting the Ohio State Fair and seeing the famous butter cow, to meeting other students passionate about agriculture, or going to livestock shows, or attending livestock auctions, or seeing farmers work in their fields. Each area is very important in its own way. Thank you for taking the time to hear what agriculture means to me. I am very excited to share agriculture with others in my communities as I represent Miss Agriculture USA.
Agriculture to me means a life lesson. I feel that agriculture teaches you a lot that you can't learn in a school building. It teaches you major responsibilities such as taking care of animals. Animals are a lot of work. You have to make sure to feed and water them all the right amounts each day, along with bedding and making sure their pens are cleaned. A lot of things that people don't know how to do that you have to be able to do to make sure animals are healthy is giving shots. It also teaches you responsibility, but showing you the real cost of money. With being in agriculture industry, you learn how to work and spend money. In 4-H, you can make a good bit of money, but the hard decision is what to do with that money. Having animals is not cheap, so you have to be able to learn how to get money, plus you have to learn how to responsibly spend your money. so you have enough to take care of that animal you purchased. The next way that agriculture is a life lesson is time management. Time management is very important. As you get older with a job, animals, and maybe even a family at home to take care of, a lot of people have to jump right into their jobs. And sometimes it gets very overwhelmed by them. Right now, with being in agriculture from a young age, I am learning how to juggle school, animals, chores, and time to just be a kid. I know this seems like it would be really hard, but it isn't. If you actually try, it can be kind of easy, while teaching you almost everything you will need in life. And you will have fun watching those little babies grow up and have their own babies. So after all that hard work, it kind of pays off.
My interest in agriculture began when I was just 2 years old and showed my first pig. Agriculture is important to me because it provides so much in our lives. Grain crops feed my show animals and the animals we eventually have processed for the food on my plate. They also provide feed to sheep and other fiber animals for clothing, and I really enjoy clothing. My bonus dad is a third-generation crop farmer, and many aspects of our lives revolve around agriculture in general. I can appreciate all aspects of farming in my everyday life. I am grateful for the farmers, and I look forward to one day further my interest in raising sheep. Agriculture means endless opportunities for me and the world around us.
Hi, my name is Blair Allison, and I'm serving as the 2021 Jefferson County, Ohio Junior Miss Agriculture USA. So today I'll be telling a story about my past market hog Romeo. So I went down to the barn to go walk him because I thought today would be a really good day to go walk him outside and put the oil on him so that he could tan because fair was also coming up and it was going to be in a month. So whenever I went down there, I noticed that there were many mama calves down there, and typically they can be very mean whenever somebody would try and mess with their babies, and they would feel alert and very threatened whenever people come near the babies. So I didn't think much of it though, because I figured my pigs would just want to stay away from them. So the first pig I took out was my pig Romeo, and he's one of my favorite ones, and he would always listen to me usually. So I took him outside to walk him, but as soon as he got out there, he ran over to the baby cows, which I was not expecting. So I was kind of in shock, but instead I just went over and I tried not to get too close to the mama cows because I know they could be very mean and very nasty about that. So whenever I went over there, I tried to get my pig away, but he started following them, and then the rest of the mama cows started surrounding him. But then my mom called for her friend Eddie to come down, and he came down with a hat and started waving them away, and they all went up into the upper part of the field and started eating. So then I took my other pig out, and it was fine, and it walked around and played in the mud some. So whenever they got back in, I gave them a nice bath, and then I gave them their food, and they were really happy. But the moral of this story is that in the barnyard life, there's people like this in the world, like the mama cows, who can be very nasty and mean. But it's okay, because there's going to be people like that, and that are just going to teach you life lessons in your life, and that's just how they are. And they can be very pushy and bossy people, but that's okay. So then you're going to want to find some friends that you can lean on and talk to them about your issues like that. But so agriculture means family and food history to me, because my grandma and pap used to own a farm, and now they turn that into many restaurants, very, very successful restaurants, and they had 5 exactly. In conclusion, my name is Blair Allison, and I'm serving you as your Miss Junior Agriculture USA.
What does agriculture mean to me? Not only is agriculture the best industry out there, but it is a lifestyle.
in my case, the best lifestyle. Not only is agriculture different in other people's lifestyles, but in my lifestyle, it includes showing my animals, showing how my lifestyle is different from other people, sharing my passion through agriculture, how agriculture is the best opportunity out there in creating networks and making new friends. Let's touch on showing animals. Right now, currently, I show my animals on the circuit, which is the jackpot shows, state shows, and county shows. I like going to these shows to express my interest and my beliefs in agriculture. How my lifestyle is different from others. As you can see, last year I wasn't in this spot. I moved to a new house and now I'm the happiest I can be at my new school. My new school is filled with my friends from 4-H and FFA. Well, the high schoolers in FFA. I'm in 8th grade. But anyway, in school, I am not the only kid now that walks around wearing boots, twisted X's, or dudes. At my old school, I was the only kid in the building since all my other friends from 4-H moved out. I was the only kid in the building wearing these flare jeans with these twisted X's with bright colors. Sharing my passion with others, I can express how I feel in the industry and my beliefs. I'm sharing my passion not only through myself, but through advocating for agriculture, going to these shows, at school, anywhere it can be, I am sharing my passion. Not only is it the best opportunity out there, it is great for showing your network and making new friends. Making new friends on these shows that I would never have the opportunity to have, but now I do. Making new friends from across the country, making new friends in Miss Agriculture, and making new friends at my new school. In the network, it is a great way to have your own business and showing your old farm names. Thank you for listening to my speech. I'm Caitlin Hall, the 2021 Miami County, Ohio Junior Miss Agriculture USA.
Why is agriculture important to me? Hi, my name is Julia Auk, and agriculture is important to me because it is how we feed ourselves and our animals. I originally got into agriculture through my horse. I have raised Miss Madison. Working with her has shown me that there is a lot I need to learn, starting with how we feed ourselves and our animals. In 4-H, we are responsible for feeding and caring for our own animals. This really got me interested in where me and Madison's food came from. I can't imagine as a city girl going out to find food for me, my family, and my animals on a daily basis. So I started to learn about where our food comes from, what Ohio, and more specifically, what Richland County produces. In Ohio, the most produced crop is soybeans, followed by corn for grain. The most raised livestock is layers, followed by poultry for meat. In case you didn't know, layers are chickens raised to lay eggs for market. Richland County also follows these trends. Another thing that I decided was important to me in agriculture was what companies buy local. A few companies that buy local are Bob Evans, Wendy's, and even Kroger's. Our family buys meat from local farmers to do our part. Farmers in Ohio grow their own hay and alfalfa to feed their own animals. Once done with their own needs, they like to sell the extras for profit. In Richland County, this means most of the extra hay goes to horses. I also had the opportunity to learn about crop rotation this summer. An impromptu photo shoot in the sunflower field led me to an interview with a farmer. During this conversation, I learned in agriculture that it is important to rotate your crops. By doing this, the soil retains nutrients for the next crop. This farmer, he saw a need for sunflower oil, and he fulfilled this need by planting sunflowers in his plot of land. Remember when I said Richland County produces corn for feed? I get my horse grain locally, and that grain feeds my horses, Madison and Lexus. When families buy local, they have to be aware of the weather. In Ohio and Richland County, weather is one of the biggest problems for farmers when growing crops. Weather can put farmers behind in planting season. It can stunt the crops from growing, and it can stop the farmers from being able to harvest the crop, allowing it to go bad. So the question was, what does agriculture mean to me? Agriculture, to me, is knowing that my food is coming from a local farm.
I'm supporting local farmers and that there will be food for me and my family on the table. Oh, and food to feed my 2 best friends.
In our family, agriculture runs in our blood. Since my great-great-grandparents came here from Poland, we have worked on our family farm. We have raised animals, shipped milk to local stores, and grown crops that we now sell at our family's gas station. Ever since I was a kid, I was fascinated by agriculture. I would go out to the barn every morning and help my grandpa milk cows. Since then, our family farm has grown. We now raise cows, chickens, pigs, and goats. To me, agriculture is a family thing. We can all relate and do it together. It's a way for me and my family to bond, because we are always doing something with it. Whether it's sitting in the barn for hours, getting animals ready for fair, or waiting for little ones to be born, we're always out there together. I feel that agriculture has built me and my siblings' relationship stronger than some's. My dad has taught me everything to do with animals, growing crops, milking goats and cows. As my siblings got old enough to learn how to do all that stuff, I had to be the one to teach them. It was nice being the teacher for them and opening their knowledge to something that can't be taught in a school building. Agriculture is one of the biggest things that keeps us all going. From the food we put on our tables to some of the things that we use daily or even play with, agriculture is mixed into it all in some way. With having a lot of animals on the farm, sickness and injuries are bound to happen. So when that time may come and you are the one to take care of the animals, such as giving shots or whatever it may be, you can either get scared or step up and do what you need to do. These past years, I've been learning and helping out with some of these tasks that we need to do to keep our animals healthy and safe. These tasks have inspired my future job. When I get older, I want to be a vet and be surrounded by animals. Being in the agriculture industry, you learn real-life skills from a young age, such as time management. With having a lot of animals and taking care of school and housework, you have to learn how to do it all, but also spare time to just be a kid and relax. Next, it teaches you responsibility. When raising animals, you have to make sure to take care of them and give them the right amount of food and water that they need 2 times a day.
What agriculture means to me. I get this question a lot. To me, agriculture is more than the food on your table, but it is the clothes on your back and the shelter that is provided for you. The clothes that you're wearing is most likely from cotton, wool, or leather. Cotton comes from crops, which is grown by farmers. Wool is from sheep, and leather comes from animal hides. The shelter over your head is most likely made from wood. Wood is from trees, which is grown by farmers. Food also plays a role in agriculture. If you're vegetarian, meaning you only eat fruits and vegetables and other non-meat products, farmers grow crops which help create those products. If you do like eating meat, then farmers help and grow livestock which make that delicious steak on your table. Agriculture is not just about the products and crops that are made. It is about making memories that'll last a lifetime. Some of the best memories are when I was in the barn and I had my first litter of pigs, to having my first ever calf out of my first heifer I ever showed, to showing for the first time at county and state fair. I also remember looking up to the older 4-H'ers and wanting to be just like them. I remember being a peewee shower at my county fair, and I just couldn't wait to help and encourage older kids. And now I am proud to say that younger kids come up to me and ask me for advice in the barns. 4-H has also given me the opportunity to make new friends. Some friends and bonds that will last a lifetime. Some of my closest friends I have met through agriculture and FFA. Making bonds is not always with people. Sometimes it is with animals. Even though you might not always keep them, they'll not always be able to keep them, they'll always have a special place in my heart. This is my steer moose. I have had the opportunity to show him throughout the Ohio Best shows. I have been working with him through hot summer days and cold winter nights. I have made a very strong bond with him, and he is the best partner I could ever ask for. And that is what agriculture means to me. Thank you.
Agriculture to me means it just doesn't come within the fields of crops or in the pasture with livestock. Agriculture truly comes within the people within the industry. These people have the drive, determination, and passion to work 365 days a year. No time off, no vacation time. Farmers and ranchers and others within the industry and truck drivers are here to keep our world running 24/7. These are the type of people that will fail and fail again. Take a step back and realize why they failed and what they can do differently next time to succeed. These are the people that will lose an animal and sit on the barn floor for countless hours and try to figure out what went wrong. These are the people that work endless hours to give to our country and go without being thanked. Being the daughter of a milk hauler and constantly seeing the drive, determination, and passion it takes to be an individual within the agriculture industry. The endless hours, long nights, early mornings, some days without sleep, and some days without his family. He's there to pick up the milk, to take to a processing plant, and then from there, another truck driver comes and gets it and puts it in the store so we can have it. These are the type of individuals that go without being thanked for all their hard work they give to our country. When everyone else was in lockdown because of COVID-19 pandemic, they were hard at work making sure we had food within the stores so we could eat and have food on our tables. Agriculture is such a diverse topic, it's hard to talk about one thing without forgetting another. The agriculture industry is such a broad subject. So, a lot of people forget the individuals and the time and hard work it takes to be in the agriculture industry. I wanted many people to see what I see the agriculture industry as. I see all the crops and all the livestock. Ever since I was a little girl, I always found it so cool. I was hoping I'd be a part of it. And true today, I am. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. But we cannot forget the men and women that stand right beside it for their hard work and passion and drive to keep our industry going. Agriculture to me means the men and women that put endless hours into our country, go without being thanked, but still love what they're doing. I want to shine a light on the men and women I truly see, what make the agriculture industry what it is. Thank you.
When I am asked the question, what does agriculture mean to you? Hundreds of things run through my head. The definition of agriculture from Oxford Languages is the science or practice of farming, including cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products. But as a kid who has lived on a farm for 17 years, I know that agriculture is so much more than that brief definition. To me, agriculture is everything. From the activities it brings me to the income it provides my family, I depend on agriculture a little extra than the average person. Agriculture has helped to shape me into the person I am today. As a young child, I joined 4-H, where I took various scope projects, as well as special interest projects to the Henry County Fair. Through 4-H, I also joined my county's Junior Leadership Club, Junior Fair Board, and I became a camp counselor. I have learned tremendous leadership from 4-H, as have many others, and I will forever be thankful for that. By being very involved in agriculture, I have also gotten very involved in my school's FFA chapter, where I am the current secretary, and I have worked very hard to qualify for the Ohio FFA state degree, which I will be receiving this spring. That degree is the highest honor the FFA can bestow amongst its members, and I am very thankful to be receiving it. Agriculture is so much more than a farmer in the field. Even though that is a very important link on the chain, it is such a small portion. Agriculture provides 22.2 million jobs to people throughout the U.S. in many different aspects. That is 10.9% of the total U.S. employment. As a kid, many career options ran through my head. I thought I wanted to be a teacher for the longest time, but as I got older, I realized that I did not want to make a career out of that. As much as I love teaching others, I couldn't imagine not being involved in the agricultural industry. To me, agriculture is a part of my future career. As a junior in high school, I feel very confident that I know what I want to do after I graduate. I plan to earn a degree in agricultural business. I want to be involved in an industry that is so amazing for as long as I can, and I want to make a difference, especially being a woman in ag. I want to set an example for younger girls that us women can do anything a man can do in this industry. You just have to set your mind to it. To me, agriculture teaches life lessons at a young age. I am proud to be an ag kid as we are respectful, responsible, and polite. I am so proud to be an advocate for the agricultural industry, and I am proud to be a member of it. This is what agriculture means to me.
To me, agriculture is what is your why reason. What enhanced your passion for this industry? For me, it began at a young age, where I would help my cousins on the family bee farm and listen to them talk about 4-H and FFA. Aside from that, I was able to spend time with my dad at his work, helping in the retail store, or even riding in the sprayer as he sprayed chemicals on farmers' crops. My parents decided to enroll me in 4-H at the age of 9, where I showed beef cattle, hogs, and even completed several stair projects. As I grew older, I wanted to become more involved within the county 4-H program that I joined Junior Fair Board, Camp Counselor, and Teen Council. These organizations allowed me to attend several conventions where I was able to gain the leadership skills and ideas to bring back to my county. Holding several offices within 4-H and Junior Fair Board along with FFA have allowed me to come out of my comfort zone and have the confidence I needed to run for my county Junior Fair Queen contest in 2016 and 17. I had the honor of being crowned the 2017 Ashland County Junior Fair Queen and network with other queens outside of my county. Following high school, I was able to attend the Ohio State ATI, majoring in agricultural business management. I was able to complete an internship with Centera Co-op at the agronomy location in Smithville and continue working for Centera Country Store in Worcester. Even though the agronomy location was out of my comfort zone, I had enjoyed gaining opportunities and continuing working for a career within agriculture, even if it was out of my comfort zone. I have enjoyed working for a business side of agriculture, and that's why I want to continue working for Centera Co-op to work toward a management position. Agriculture is based off of several aspects within our community, and that's why I enjoy being able to help out the next generation and supporting the local businesses. From being a part of a small business side of agriculture, living on a farm, and being a business major, it has allowed me to see the different sides of agriculture. The support I have gained from these organizations and businesses have given me the ability to give back to my community from an industry that means a lot to myself, my family, and my friends. Agriculture isn't just about the awards or the degrees I have earned in the past. It's about the meaning and the respect that I have gained. Thank you.
Every single person has their unique definition of agriculture. To me, it is happiness, but also sadness. Impactful and a lifestyle. Agriculture to me, and many others, has those happy moments of an animal doing fantastic, or crops flourishing. But it also has sad moments when animals don't do great and crops don't take. But then it also has a vast importance on every single person on earth. Whether you know it or not, you are involved in agriculture. This can be from just being a livestock and animal producer or a crop producer, to just a regular old consumer who eats the the harvest. Agriculture has a vast importance on every single person on the earth. To me, it has an importance of teaching the next generation and always making sure that we are doing the best we can in agriculture. Which leads me to my final point of agriculture is my lifestyle. It has been a sole part of myself since about 6th grade when we first started our family's farm to now where I'm in high school taking many agriculture classes and leading to go to school to become an ag teacher. Agriculture is always going to be a part of my life and always part of my lifestyle. Agriculture affects every person. It has happy and sad moments, and it is important to the world around us. And that is why agriculture and what agriculture means to me.
The definition of agriculture is the science or practice of farming using the cultivation of soils to provide food, wool, and other products. And that's what a lot of people believe agriculture is. It's raising animals, providing food, and it's not much deeper than that to anybody else. But to me, agriculture grows so deep within me. Personally, I was born into an agriculture family. We mainly did livestock. I raised goats, and that was something my grandma did, and it's just been passed on. Now my cousin does, and we show through 4-H, and that's just a part of us. But not a lot of people realize that if you wanted to be a fashion designer or do something in estate managing, that's part of agriculture, and you can become a part of agriculture. So agriculture is a way of life. It's a way of community. We can all express ourselves through agriculture in such different ways. So many cultures and different people can come together in agriculture and learn so many new things. Because I'm in livestock, I was in 4-H and FFA, so I got to show. And those opportunities have given me so much. I would have never gotten those opportunities to meet new people and build a sense of community without that. And agriculture is just an important part of my life. Personally, my route was to go to college and become an agriculture educator. Some people, that might not be it. They might want to be a farmer or design clothes. Personally, agriculture educating was something that I thought was very important because our educators are building our world and making our foundation to what people believe that agriculture is. And I really want to help spread awareness to what that is and that anybody can be a part of it, no matter what your background is or what you want to do. A lot of things are part of agriculture. Medicines, a lot of medicines are in agriculture. A lot of things come from ag products. We have animals that help make those products and foods to help make our food, which can go into, you can be bakers and all that and raise your own things to make your foods. And that's part of agriculture, but still not. And I think that agriculture is just the foundation of this world and that it's something we need to build on. Everybody from so many different cultures can come together. We can learn so many new things. FFA and 4-H have taught me so much. I've been able to go to conventions and meetings and fairs and meet so many people and just build a community of friendship. Some people that I can rely on. My best friends are from agriculture, and that's who I would trust with almost anything that I had a problem with or needed help. That's who I would go to. Like Miss Agriculture, I have been able to meet so many new people in this industry because of Miss Agriculture. We've built a community and like a sisterhood, and it's amazing. I think that everybody should be a part of agriculture and get to experience what this community is. So to me, agriculture isn't just raising animals, producing crops, it's a community. And I believe that everybody should be able to be part of that and experience what it is. Thank you.
When asked what agriculture means to me, it gets me reminiscing of all the times that I've spent devoting my life to agriculture. This includes the countless hours spent working with my animals, eating good, farm-raised food, and spending quality time with family and friends that share their love for agriculture. Everything I just listed are just some of the amazing parts of agriculture, but there are many personal definitions I find myself linking back to agriculture and what it does mean to me. When I tell people what agriculture means to me, I look at all the amazing things I've learned through life. One of the big parts of my life was spent in 4-H. I showed many different animals, from rats and guinea pigs to hogs and cattle. In my years of showing, I have bred hogs to raise my own hog raised on my farm to take to the fair. Unfortunately, things do not always go as planned, and I had a very tough year as a farmer. If not for 4-H, I do not think I would be the person I am today. I am still learning every day and have many new projects coming from the agricultural world. There are countless learning opportunities, such as crops that I may not work with all the time, or how to preserve food in different ways. The most common way we preserve our food is by canning. We start with fruits and vegetables from local produce stands. We then start the process of canning. Over the years, I have learned how to make my own jam from many different berries. I have also learned how many different flavors of pickles there are, which just so happens to be one of my favorite foods. I have also learned that my family and I have experienced making a lot of our own food. We have even made our own maple syrup from the maple trees in our yards. Agriculture has a lot of things to learn, from animals to crops. Not only have I learned all these amazing parts of canning and making maple syrup, I have also learned how to handle bees and raise honey for my family. Agriculture means a lot to me, and being able to spread my love for it every day is what matters most. Thank you.
When people say, "Were you raised in a barn?" it's usually after something negative has happened. However, for me, that couldn't be further from the truth. You see, agriculture to me means so many different things. It's about our environment, helping others, teaching and learning, and it's also just plain fun. Caring about the land and natural resources has always been a priority for those involved in agriculture. Understanding the relationship between using our environment and taking care of it has always been important. I remember my mom telling me to watch out for the endangered Blanding's turtle that make their home on the farm where they lay their eggs. I remember being taught to leave fence rows with grasses and trees for wildlife and to catch nutrients before they end up in the ditch. For me, being engaged in agriculture means you are a good steward for the environment. Agriculture is about giving and helping others. A great example of this was when the Ohio State Fair was canceled due to COVID. Volunteers from across the state came together to put on the Ohio Youth Livestock Expo to make sure that the youth could show their animals. Kids worked hard all year so they can show off their project. These volunteers made this possible for hundreds of youth livestock members and kept everyone safe at the same time. The resourcefulness of agriculture is truly amazing. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture either. It can be as simple as donating a pig to the township food pantry, which is what I do every year. People in agriculture are creative in finding ways to help others, and that is what agriculture means to me. I have learned so much about science by growing up around agriculture. Nutrition, reproduction, medicine, mechanical, and construction are all skills I've learned by growing up on a farm. I have also learned to enjoy the successes to the fullest because they make the hard times bearable. Last year, winning the Grand Champion Market Pig and Breeding Guild each happened in a single moment that many people watched. But what they didn't see were the endless hours of balancing farrowing pigs, cleaning pens, walking pigs, homework, junior fair board, FFA, 4-H, and cleaning my room. They didn't see the frozen water pipes, the 2 a.m. farrowing yet still going to school, and the sow dying and only saving 3 piglets. I walked through these hard times with my family and learned how to deal with all life has to offer, both the highs and the lows. I have learned that dedication and determination are keys to success. This is what agriculture means to me. Agriculture also means fun to me, having campfires with s'mores and stargazing just because, playing loud country music outside while cleaning the pens, playing in the rain and not being bothered by it at all, making memories that you will always have, having cousins that you see as brothers, having an aunt and uncle that are cemented into your life, having Grandma's Cookie Tuesday to picking up trash along the rural roads with Papa. This is what agriculture means to me. To me, agriculture means taking care of the environment. It means learning and passing those skills onto the next generation as well as the general public. Agriculture means helping others in creative ways. It has taught me so many things and has prepared me in many areas of life. It means family to me. Growing up in agriculture has been a way of life for me. I cannot imagine growing up any other way. So I proudly say, yes, I was raised in a barn.
What does agriculture mean to you? Often when asked this question, I found myself looking back on my childhood. raising my 4-H projects, bottle feeding the family cat, or even working in the garden on warm summer days is what agriculture used to mean to me. However, as I've grown in my agricultural experiences, that meaning has changed. Agriculture is not just about physical work, but it is also about the life lessons I've learned and the events that have changed me into the person I am today. Agriculture is waking up early to put in the extra work with my lamb to get her ready for the county fair, a task only I myself could complete, teaching me to take pride and responsibility in everything I do. It's working alongside farmers to learn new things that I can teach to my students as an agri-science educator one day, or even put to practice on my own farm in the future. Agriculture is supporting your local farmers and being there when times are tough. Whether it's buying their products or helping them with difficult tasks, being there for one another is important to see success in our community. All these things combined have helped me develop a new understanding as to what agriculture means to me. Because of agriculture, I've been able to find a career path that allows me to express my passions of teaching others and mentoring the next generation. Not only will I be able to put my passions to use as an educator, but I'll also be able to help my students develop and enact their own passions, whether in agriculture or not. I'll be able to help their minds grow through agricultural experiences and lessons I myself have learned. Teaching our next generation about agriculture is important to see that the legacy is kept alive and that our world is fed. I want to teach my students to understand and love all aspects of agriculture so they may become the next farmers, engineers, and scientists that will change our world and how we perceive where our food comes from. Agriculture is not only my today, but it is also my tomorrow and my future. And this is what agriculture means to me. Thank you.
Did you know that according to the United States Department of Agriculture, over 900,000 women in America are farmers? That means about 30% of women in America are a part of what I believe to be the best industry. How amazing is it to be able to say that you're 1 in 900,000? That's pretty cool to me. From a young age, I knew I wanted to be a part of agriculture. I didn't know how, due to the fact that I didn't live on a farm. I grew up in a relatively rural but residential area. I go to school in the city. My parents have average office jobs, but I knew one thing was for sure. I wanted to be a large and small animal veterinarian. From that same young age, my sister and I dreamed of becoming veterinarians and owning our own farms to raise all sorts of different animals. We would always visit the farm close to our home to see the horses and broiler chickens our neighbor would raise. My sister and I were looking through old memories and we actually came across a blueprint I had drawn of our backyard. In that blueprint, I had included my single little sheep that I so dreamed of having. Obviously, our mom told us no, since we all know you can't just have one, but that didn't deter me from my dreams. Fast forward to my middle school years, my sister is now graduated high school, well on her way to earning her doctorate of veterinary medicine, and I was starting a new chapter myself. The neighbor that owned the horses and chickens by our house had moved away, and the incoming family brought none other than sheep and goats. Naturally, I made my way over to introduce myself. From that day on, my life changed forever. My dreams had started to become true. I began my 4-H career and showed livestock all across the country. This just made me want more. This made me want to know all aspects that go into this great industry. Now, almost 5 years later, we're running a flock of close to 50 sheep and goats. My passion for agriculture, both plant and animal, grew as I did. I'm often researching the latest news on the corn and soybean industry, following different animal nutrition programs, and shadowing my local vet anytime the doctors will have me. I'm getting ready to graduate high school in early May, and I have plans to attend college in the fall to earn a bachelor's degree in biology with a pre-veterinary focus. I also plan to achieve a minor in business administration so that I can one day achieve my dreams of owning and operating my own practice alongside my sister. So when asked what agriculture means to me, I will tell you it means everything. It means following your dreams even if they come out of the ground or in small freezer packages.
Agriculture is one of our wisest pursuits because in the end, it will contribute most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness. A quote by Thomas Jefferson. Not only has that been one of my favorite quotes since I was a little girl, it's the best way to bring up the topic of what agriculture means to me. I've been involved in agriculture since the day I was born. And if you were to come up to me and ask me, "Hey Sam, what does agriculture mean to you?" I hope you have all day, because for me, it's not just one answer. For me, it's more like a puzzle. It's a bunch of little important pieces that when you bring them together creates a big, beautiful picture. And if you don't have all those pieces, you don't get the real experience. You don't see the beautiful picture. And yeah, I can tell you bits and pieces, but until you fully see that beautiful picture and hear about what people feel when they talk about agriculture and you can relate to them, it's a truly amazing feeling. Growing up in agriculture, I was mainly raised around horses, so that's what I grew up knowing. But as I got older, I wanted to learn more about different animals. I wanted to learn more about cattle and sheep and goats and pigs and chickens, and I didn't always have that opportunity until I got more involved in the world of agriculture. I then met some amazing people and farmers who took me under their wing and taught me about the different cattle breeds and whether they're better for meat or dairy, same with goats and sheep. And it's been truly amazing. And even some of the people I've met have become some of my best friends. I even had the opportunity to meet family I didn't even know I had because of agriculture. And without it, I wouldn't have known I had them as family. Agriculture is so important to me growing up in it, and it's just such a huge part of my life that without it, I don't know where I'd be today. For the last 3 years, it has grown so much in my life that everything I do has something to do with agriculture. Because of agriculture, I was able to become a Miss Agriculture USA Queen, which has been an amazing experience with all the opportunities I've had to meet new farmers and learn about different things I've never heard of before and learning more about farming. I've even had the opportunity to go and try a different way of doing hay. Growing up, I did round bales. This was square bales, and that might seem small, but that's so new to me. And it was so fun for me because I love learning about how agriculture is growing. So when you ask me, what does agriculture mean to me? The big picture is everything.
What does agriculture mean to me? Your 2021 Clark County, Ohio Miss Agriculture USA. Growing up in Clark County, Ohio, agriculture has always been a big part of my life. From raising cattle alongside my family on our small farm, showing livestock at the Clark County Fair, and other livestock expeditions, serving at the Clark County Fair Beef and Dairy Committees, and having the pleasure of representing as the 7 different agricultural queens. Agriculture has been a main staple of both my adolescent and adult years. Clark County is the birthplace of 4-H. Because of this, some of my earliest memories were watching my sister work with her steers. I learned to appreciate agriculture at a very young age. Although I was raised around cattle, I was terrified to even walk a cow. I showed market goats until I finally became comfortable enough to start raising and showing dairy feeders. After much deliberation, I bought my first beef steer. Purchasing that steer was one of the best decisions I have ever made. The immense joy I received from raising my own cattle has always been such a big part of my life. It taught me respect, responsibility, and hard work. These core values have aided in molding me into the person I am today. I am fortunate enough to be able to give back to the Clark County 4-H program by becoming a 4-H volunteer for the 4-H Club Too Hot to Trot. It has been a blessing to be able to help the youth of today find their passion within agriculture and to provide them with a positive role model, much like the individuals who ensured that my show days were a great and memorable experience. Agriculture isn't just about playing with animals, though. Agriculture is a way of life for many Americans and is an industry responsible for feeding us and other countries. Being a Miss Agriculture USA Queen has given me a platform to advocate for farmers who are struggling to keep their farms afloat during such difficult times. They need our support now more than ever as they are facing new challenges every day. There are countless family farms who are having to sell all livestock because they cannot afford to continue running their small operations. These men and women rely on their family farms to keep food on their tables, as well as aiding in providing food for our tables. I always supported those farms by buying their produce from and meat from them. It pains me to see this happening to these proud individuals that are such a vital part of our nation. The ag industry is worth fighting for. It is an industry that we cannot survive without. So we must come together and support these men and women who dedicate their lives to providing for us every day. Thank you.
To me, agriculture is all about the community. I remember my high school FFA teacher saying, "A farmer knows a little bit about everything, but is an expert in none." As a dairy farm myself, I completely agree with this saying. At L&R Dairy Farm, we milk 700 head of cattle. This keeps us extremely busy, so we rely on experts in our community to keep our business running smoothly. One expert that I personally work with is our vet. Our vet comes out to the farm weekly. We walk through the herd, see if there are any health problems, where the cows are at reproductively. Now you might just think this is one person in one job, but the vet also has a vet tech, and the vet clinic has a receptionist. Now if our calf gets sick and we need to treat it so that it feels better, that's creating a job in manufacturing and in sales. Now we need that product to get to the farm, so now we're using services such as UPS and FedEx. That's just one example how farmers are helping support other businesses. Another example is that we have a nutritionist. Our nutritionist comes out to the farm twice a month. He looks at the body conditions of the animal and checks out our feed supply. It's important that our feed lasts us all year long, so we have to be careful at how much we're using. If we're using too much corn silage, he can say, "Hey, let's hold back a little bit and push more haylage." One idea that our nutritionist gave us was to start using more wet brewer's grain. Wet brewer's grain is the byproduct of distilling beer. Now we took a product that had no purpose and gave it a use by feeding it to our animals. Now that I'm a year out of college, I'm seeing more kids that I went to school with back in the agricultural community. One kid who was on my college volleyball team now works for Coba Select Sires, which is a breeding company that we personally use. A girl who was in my math class now works for Farm Credit. And a kid that I spent all high school with now works for a local tractor dealership. Agriculture is not only feeding America, but is creating hundreds of jobs throughout the United States. Small communities like mine have a strong backbone in agriculture.
Agriculture to me means growth, a strong passion, and a future. If you would have asked me when I was younger what agriculture was, I would have said my family. I'll never forget the memories made with my granny at the farm while we shook pears out of the trees in the backyard and canning them right after while still enjoying some warm over some ice cream. My grandma never hesitated to help us with our sewing and gardening lessons in 4-H. She was so proud to see I got her green thumb, always checking on my flowers. As well, in the summer, you could always find my dad and I while driving the tractor as he baled hay in the fields. Growing up, agriculture meant a strong connection with my family that I couldn't experience any other way. In high school, agriculture meant a sense of friendship. Everyone in my grade was starting to talk about 4-H and FFA. I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but I quickly learned how much I loved it. I got involved in volunteer work with 4-H and endless projects, but was sadly cut short with high school classes, sports, and becoming actively involved in FFA. I remember going into the officer elections so nervous, but was quickly shown the new sense of friendship surrounded in agriculture. Whether it was us sharing the responsibility of taking care of the run of the litter, or going to state for soil judging, we were always there for each other. I will never forget going to state and national conventions and getting to meet so many people sharing the same drive and passion for the agriculture industry. Now that I've graduated and been involved in the Ms. Agriculture USA program, I see a future of independent, strong, driven women in the agriculture industry. All of us are going after our ambitions together as a sisterhood. All of this is what agriculture means to me. A family, a friendship, a sisterhood, a life that I never want to stop living.
The official definition of agriculture is the science, art, or practice of cultivating the soil producing crops, and raising livestock, and in varying degrees, the preparation and marketing of the resulting products. And that is according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. But to me, agriculture is so much more than that. It is a lifestyle, it is a passion, and it is full of love and tradition. All of my life, I have been surrounded by agriculture. As a third-generation farmer, agriculture is in my blood, and one day I will carry on the tradition with my own cattle farm and pass on my knowledge and passion to the next generation. For many years, I was heavily involved in 4-H and FFA. These organizations taught me the necessary skills that I needed in my life: leadership, teamwork, responsibility, problem solving, respect, and dedication. I could honestly go on and on about these wonderful agriculture organizations and how they helped shape me into the person that I am today. And I think that is what inspired me to go to college and pursue my dream career in extension education, so that I can give back to the organization that I hold so close and dear to my heart, and give the younger generation the same opportunities that I had growing up. Even when I am away from the farm, like I have been for school, I still eat, sleep, and breathe agriculture. It has given me the opportunity to live in a city setting and interact with the people here. It was really surprising to see how many people did not know anything about agriculture or farm life. It has been amazing and fun educating the people here, especially my coworkers at work. They find it so cool that I live on a farm and show cattle, and to them it is just so out of the ordinary, and it sounds so bizarre to them. I love spreading the positive words about agriculture no matter where I go, and I will always continue to do just that. The agriculture industry means so much to me, and it has provided me with everything that I have today. That is what agriculture means to me. Thank you.
Agriculture. What is agriculture? The book definition is the science or practice of farming, including the cultivation of soil for growing crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products. But agriculture to me is getting up every hour in the night during lambing to make sure that the first time ewe gives birth okay. Agriculture is supporting your local farms in the midst of a global pandemic. It's growing your own vegetables in your backyard to make a healthy meal, but then using the scraps as compost for the next year. Agriculture is the backbone of America and is one of the greatest and most important industries in the world. It's a passion, a lifestyle, a strong community. Our living wage comes from the hard work we put in and day out, whether it's being in a combine all day or tending to a sick calf, praying that it will make it. Our skills and abilities come from multiple failures, but agriculture is also built on a community of farmers willing to lend a hand when it is needed, no matter the task at hand. It's the parts stores when a tractor is broken down, or a livestock store when you need a last-minute antibiotic. I wouldn't have found my passion for agriculture if I wasn't raised up in it. Agriculture has given me the confidence to take chances, find my interests, grow from my mistakes, and work towards something bigger than myself. Agriculture is more than just growing crops and raising animals. It's an infinite industry that provides the world with resources to sustain life. Thank you.
What does agriculture mean to me? Agriculture means many things to me. While spending most of my youth being actively engaged in 4-H and FFA, many core values of the rural community were instilled in me. Most notable of which are being responsible, dedication, and perseverance. Responsibility is defined as the quality or state of being responsible, moral or legal, or mental accountability, whether it is the responsibility to the crops from soil sampling to harvest, or the livestock that we raise from birth to butcher. The feat of helping provide the most basic of necessities to the international population is just one of the agricultural community's responsibilities. The undertaking of providing food and clothing materials for the global population is an unmatched and under-acknowledged responsibility that our agricultural community takes upon its shoulders without a secondary thought. Along with responsibility, dedication is an essential part of agriculture. Dedication is, by definition, self-sacrificing devotion and loyalty, which is personified by our fellow farming community members across our great nation. The daily sacrifices of early mornings, late nights, and missed events are the ever-present hallmark of the agricultural lifestyle. The selfless loyalty to others is exemplified when farmers across the community come to the aid of a fellow farmer who is busied with caring for an ill spouse during harvest season, or a farmer who has an animal in distress. These generous acts vibrantly illustrate the committed, kind-hearted nature of the farmers and agricultural community. In conjunction with responsibility and dedication, perseverance is an integral part of agriculture. Perseverance is defined as the continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or oppression. Farmers and ranchers embody perseverance while facing the challenges of decreasing profitability of agriculture. They are faced with the tasks of finding new and inventive ways to keep their small operations up and running, which may take many forms, from guided horseback tours to renting land to campers, or selling beeswax products produced from a homegrown bee colony. This undying tenacity shows the true heart of our agriculturalists. The sense of responsibility, dedication, and perseverance of the agricultural community aids in the shaping of our world for future generations. These three core values are at the heart of what agriculture means to me.
What agriculture means to me is a promise for future generations to be able to run their own farm on suitable ground to grow crops to produce for their family. It is a group of unique individuals with the same goal in mind to produce and provide for our great nation while having a difference of opinions on how to get it done. Agriculture is family and friends banding together to help each other in tough times. When weather turns bad, markets crash, accidents happen, or when illness creeps in, they're there to lend a helping hand. It is bringing meals out to the field and seeing the glimmer in a child's eye as they take their first combine ride. Agriculture is seeing things so breathtaking, like the birth of a newborn calf, and so heartbreaking as a quick-moving storm destroys thousands of acres of crops in minutes, just short of harvest. Agriculture is continuing to learn and expand your knowledge, even when we've done it this way for years. It's a gamble, some may say, but for me, it is stepping out in faith, giving it your all, and letting the good Lord do the rest, in hopes to reap a bountiful harvest. Agriculture is so much more than dirt and plants, livestock and produce. It's a heritage that this great nation was built on, a tradition for many families, and it's a group of individuals who consider themselves a family. It's a way of life that many of us have come to love. I'm Whitney Williams, your 2021 Marion County, Ohio, Mrs. Agriculture USA, and that's what agriculture means to me.
What does agriculture mean to me? Agriculture to me means family and community. Family for me is not just the people that live inside your house, but people that are willing to help out anyone that needs something anytime or any day. For example, take the poor farmers in Iowa that were hit by a derecho, which up until this year, I never even knew what that meant. Farmers and families from beyond Iowa, including here in Ohio, stepped up and went to Iowa and helped those farmers in any way they possibly could. There was so much damage and so many things that they needed repaired. And the farmers all around didn't take a second to even think about what I need to do. They just stepped up and did it. As far as community is, to me, a very important thing, not just in agriculture, but in everything. And as far as how it relates to agriculture, take, for example, farmers here in our community. We had a farmer that was hurt. He had hurt his back during harvest season. And during that season, several farmers, including my husband, decided that they could take time from their own crops and go help this gentleman. They helped him complete his harvest and bring everything in that needed to be done, and then completed their own. They put his needs in front of theirs. To me, this is something very important that is needed to be done. And as far as agriculture, it's a little bit of everything. In family and community just make that even bigger. I am so proud to be part of the Miss Agriculture USA community and family and get to help promote agriculture and show everyone what family can do and communities can do when someone's in need.
My name is Toddy Weeks, your 2021 Highland County Elite Miss Agriculture USA. I have a confession to make. I live in a house 2 blocks from the center of town. I didn't grow up on a farm, and I don't have a job in the agriculture industry. You're probably wondering why I'm confessing these things. Well, I've dedicated my life to serving others. I understand that strong communities get things done, and I recognize the value of supporting and protecting our local farmers. I believe ag is everyone's business. Ohio's largest industry is agriculture, and it is also the largest industry in Highland County, where I was born and raised. You see, Highland County's land is used 40% for ag production, 32% is forest cover, 20% are pastures, and only 5% are used for land development. We are a farm town. It's part of our heritage, and it's part of our way of life. Our summers are spent picking berries, shucking corn, snapping beans, even baling hay. One rite of passage in our town is to participate in the kiddie tractor pulls at the town festival, and we all grow up to cheer on our boys during the truck pulls at the county fair. Our falls are for homecomings, hay rides, picking apples, and then making apple butter on an open fire. I always loved visiting my grandparents on their farm and helping Grandma bottle feed the calves, or to walk the orchards with my grandpa. I'm so excited for my own 3 children to start clover buds, and I dream of the day they put on that blue corduroy for the first time. These are not just rites of passage. Their work ethic, their servant mindset, and their lifelong friends. And maybe, just maybe, one or all of them will choose a job in the agriculture industry, and I will be their biggest advocate, because ag is everyone's business.
Thank you so much for watching our virtual competition. If you too have a passion for agriculture, please join us by becoming an advocate for agriculture as a Miss Agriculture USA Queen. To learn more about Miss Agriculture USA, how to become a Miss Agriculture USA Queen, and to see more of our Miss Agriculture USA Queens in action, visit our website at www.missagricultureusa.org. Be sure to like us on Facebook and to follow us on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to our Miss Agriculture USA YouTube channel.